see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't...
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. It'd better all be here.
What's that for you, dear? And?
Seems the hideaway is lost.
Sid! Look what the curse breakers brought back from Dalmekia. Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Eh? The bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang? Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. With the dark... But be that as it may... I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. There is a rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
right. Ivan's newest dish is a masterpiece. Once you get over the urge to gag, that is.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
What will it be today? How may I help you today? One must understand one's place in the world. Thus ends today's lesson.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
There's barely been a shipment in since the skies started boiling. A few more days without a visit and we'll have to start eating the blankets.
Is a storm coming soon? Will there be thunder?
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Kashik out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means... there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Clive! Follow me. They need all the help they can get. Anything catch your eye? Always something in there.
Fucking thieving! If you're wondering why Dalimil's in such a sorry state, you can blame the bandits.
If I had my pickaxe, I would have...
All my finest pieces.
Anything I can interest you in? Fare you well.
Ready, go?
Faster!
Let's go. Time to fight. Fly, Ambrosia.
We're not alone.
You deserve a rest. All yours, Torvald. Over here! Let's go.
so, eh? Only those who have nothing. Show empty your pockets.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
They're both as stubborn as the lover's pot, and every bit as irritating.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, He'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the... It may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandit.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is...
Picture it, Conrad. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, Commander?
A pleasure, my lady.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canva.
Victor says you told him that there aren't any men left to hire. Is that
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from... You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's...
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would have...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy it.
All this after the last sellswords we paid for proved themselves such reliable souls.
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Men.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for...
Indeed, certainly that is. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the... It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little... If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow.
All right. If it will help to protect... But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Merely that it produced... Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
We have.
There's truly no chance for us to restock our supplies. That's it then.
Scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
No women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
To overwhelm us.
This one.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Alamil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Clive. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all? Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. It's not true. We've lost... Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
You deserve a rest. No more vengeance. No more war.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue. There's no telling when they might be back. Keep that sword handy, Sid.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
Anything catch your eye? Very well.
abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shut. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them...
I will. You two...
My brothers.
Mad dogs, the lot of them.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield, if you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them, but we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
This one.
All yours, Tormund.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Mad dogs. The law of them.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Fiends try to climb the walls here, too. Founder knows where they can show them.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Arthur and the others won't be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we? Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts, hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashics. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that...
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar. But I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way. I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. You or my uncle.
We shall be staying here for the time being, and not just for the ale. I'll have one of my men escort Oscar to Benamir once he's said his farewells.
I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
What did you find down there?
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look. Always something in there.
army must have tired of their pets. But if they won't feed them... You're finished!
Isn't to be trifled with. be trifled with. First we find Isabel.
And what can I do for you? You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. Come back again.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts from the far side of the wall.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oriflamme under flood.
If there are ghosts in the Royal Meadows, then why isn't the garrison dealing with them? I can't do it. I can't.
But you can.
My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
A Kashik, but...
And what of your mistress?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what the...
Then we'll look for her there.
We've seen little and less of the soldiers of late. Anyone? They were hiding.
More arrived from the capital this morning.
The two soldiers carrying another. He didn't have any legs.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the... What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection, and protect them I shall. Because they are my charge. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charge. But more than that, they are your sisters, your brothers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives!
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over. I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider... what we need to consider, the way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know. I can't entirely blame the men of the garrison for losing heart. And they have provided a place for the injured.
You're a pikeman, yes?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all... And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow.
Leave that to us.
With no one to defend the place. Moor's days are numbered.
It's all right. Give me your arm. Did you see the creatures that had...
Creatures? They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor.
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now.
We should head for more.
I assume you have a plan?
We need to find out.
It was all they could do to escape. They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Let's go.
Look!
I see them. With me! Over here! Save your strength. Go for
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't it? It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit, but whatever it takes. Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier, and the people I love include the ones standing before. Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. but it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the color of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. It is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua! Clive! It's Gav! There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Back again? And how could it not? But are we any... I cannot claim. Such are the wages. Ironic. Allow me to educate you. One must understand one's place in the world. Thus ends today's lesson.
You know how I feel about this, but your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you. My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle
help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised? All done?
How are you doing? Quick look. Seen enough?
Do you like being struck by thunderbolts from on high? Then don't let anything happen to Mid. Yeah?
We've sent Cursebreakers to Martha's Rest, Dalamil, and Northreach. Hopefully they can help maintain the peace. Or at least...
Cole told us everything that happened. It's a bit of a worry that both the Republican and Imperial armies are in disarray. But it was good to hear that the people stood their ground.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Clive. Coin purse weighing you down. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all?
So what do I owe the honour? So, will it be? That it? Fine.
It seems the hideaway is
blasted book.
Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a
Are
recipe.
you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps you remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that all, so I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too... So, what's...
A fried mortress of skyworm. This recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to it. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist?
Ah, kindly old
Fine. And if you don't...
You do that.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve...
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. Mid-scale. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, my first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their which almost certainly means they had...
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As...
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book.
Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm live.
So the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The description now. Skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern. Their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress...
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very colour of the sea.
So we know where to look for our liver.
Saint's bonnet, in contemporary parlance. A herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone. So I may add that people once believed game...
Meaning that if I...
Best of luck, Clive, and... I was wondering when next you'd visit. One can only speculate as to why, perhaps, the rampant popularity of the dish led to a decline in the blueback wyvern pop. A sprig of cheerful yellow drake's mint pinned to the lapel, regardless. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today?
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Rutherford. Where would he be a month?
I gonna do? Oh. But no more.
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think Nan might be in
It's all right.
There was a folk saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who... I wanted to ask her about it myself, but... I'm scared she'd never give you up.
Don't worry.
Oh, you'll let me know?
Of course.
Nan sometimes sells swords and...
Lady Karen,
Not nearly as far.
you're doing good trade then.
Can't complain. What exactly? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs.
Just... ask... All right.
Oh. Are you? And who was it?
I didn't exactly hear. All I know is that someone in Dalamil has...
And what? You believe it? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when... But that woman is no more. And you know that.
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your...
Of course.
Still alive, are you? Thought you knew better than to put stock in unfounded gossip. Coin purse weighing you down? Finished, are you?
I spoke with the lady that the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking, along with some other things, that while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted...
Oh, well, I knew Nan wasn't caught up in...
No, but people do things for all sorts...
Well, that trader, so that's where I'm going.
Are you sure that's...
Oh, but...